Hey everyone! So today I'm going to be working on this look. This is an inspired look from the character Babydoll from Sucker Punch. I am absolutely obsessed with that film. I watched it last night and again this morning, and I just keep rewinding it and rewinding it and looking at the makeup, and I absolutely love her makeup in it. I actually love the makeup that everyone's wearing in it, but I thought I could pull this one off a little bit better seeing as I have the hair. Hopefully you enjoy this tutorial and you find it useful. So let's go ahead and get started. So I've already got my foundation on. The foundation that I used, as always, was Studio Fix Fluid. Just looks like this, and the colour is in NC30. Next I'm just going to add a little bit of powder. This is just a MAC loose powder, and this is in NC20. Just a shade lighter than in the film. The actress that plays Babydoll, Emily Browning, has absolutely amazingly gorgeous, pure, like porcelain skin. I'm just going to try and emulate that, and I'm just going to powder all over the skin. What I'm going to do is contour. I'm just going to use my MAC bronzing powder. It's just a dark brown bronzing powder, and I'm going to use my contouring brush by MAC. I'm not sure of the number. In the film she has a very round cheek, a very full cheek, so I'm just going to try and emulate that by adding just a little bit of contouring. Bringing it round in a sort of rounder shape as opposed to a straight down line, because as I said, her cheeks are really full, so it's quite a round look as opposed to a straight contoured look. You want this to look very, I already have quite sort of chubby cheeks, but you want that to look as full as possible, so just doing the circular motion will help that. Hopefully you can see a slight difference just there. My cheeks just look a tiny little bit more chubby. Sticking with the cheeks, next up I'm going to apply a blusher in the cheeks. In the film she has an absolute ton of blusher on. She has absolutely loads concentrated right on the centre of her cheek, and it's a very pink colour. I'm going to use pink blush, which is by Clinique, and it looks just like that. It's just a light pink colour. So I'm just going to take a fluffy blusher brush, and just working in a circular motion, I'm just going to apply that right to the centre of the cheeks. You want to just smile just so you get the right, I want to say chub, but that's the wrong thing to say, of my cheeks. Like I said, she has a ton of blush on, so I'm also going to use Torrid by Nars. It's just a nice bright pink colour that I've totally hit pan on. So a little bit more blush, never hurt anybody. In the film she has very glowing, very luminous skin, so for that I'm going to try and recreate it using a cream colour base, and this is in the colour Pearl. And this is by MAC. I'm going to take this on a 130 brush. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to swirl that in. I'm going to take it right along the top of the cheek to just get a lot of shine. I'm going to bring it up in the eyebrow. And the same again on the other side. Hopefully you can just see that nice shine that's created just on the cheekbone there. So now that the skin is looking absolutely glowing and very Babydoll-ish, we're going to concentrate on the brows. She has a very similar brow to what I have, and from what I can see by the film, it doesn't look like the brow is penciled in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit of powder and just my regular bronzer, and I'm just going to powder in my brows. Next we're just going to move on to the eyes. I really struggled with my choice for the colours in this tutorial. The video is kind of fantasy-ish, so it was really hard to pick out the certain colours, but hopefully I've got it as close as possible. So the first thing we're going to do is take a Percy Pig, that part's optional, and just apply a primer. I'm just using Urban Decay Primer Potion again, and just apply that from the lid right up to the brow. And the same on the other side. In the film, she always kind of looks a bit sad, a bit like, so you want to sort of make that puppy dog eye look. So when you're applying your highlight, I'm just going to go for Virgin, which is this colour. My broken nail. How sad. Broke 2 nails today, can you believe it? It's definitely a bad day. So you just want to apply it sort of from your arch down. That will help to give your eye that puppy dog look. So I'm just going to start here and just apply the highlight. And the same on the other side. What I could tell, it looks like there is a touch of shimmer on the lid. The lids are kept very, very bright and very light for Babydoll's look. So what I've gone for is Sin, which is this colour. And you just want to apply that all over the lid. Really love this colour. I use this colour quite a lot just in my everyday look anyway. It really brightens up the eye, and it's got ever so slight pinkish tone to it maybe that really just is so flattering. Anything pink, I suppose, I'm just in love with, but you just apply that all over the lid. Sorry, I'm just using just the flat top shading brush that came with the palette. Next I'm going to take a 219 brush. It's just a pointed eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to sort of draw the line as to where I want the darker shadow. This is really helpful if you're ever doing a really dark eye. It's useful to go into with a lighter colour first of all, just to plan out where you're going to go, and then you know exactly where to apply your shadow. I'm going to do this in the colour Buck. So we're moving in right into the inner corner, and then what we want to do is do a really strong point. So almost a straight line here, and then follow your brow around the rest of it. So it's kind of going to make your face look sad in a way. It's kind of going to emulate that puppy dog look with the straight line going up and then around, of course. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take an angled brush. You can use any angled eyeshadow brush. I'm going to take Creep again out of the Naked palette. Just this very, very easily. You just want to follow the line that you've already created. Tail off in a straight line, sort of in correspondence with the edge of your eye. So after that step we'll have something a little bit scary that looks like this. Next thing I'm going to do is take the same pointed angle brush, having just cleaned it off, and I'm going to take Dark Horse, which is this colour. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run that under the eye. I'm not going to run it along the waterline. I'm just going to run it a little bit lower. In the film it sort of looks like she might have been crying, she's a little bit upset, so it's just ever so slightly lower, and we're going to start just a little bit lower and just run that very gently. Again, I'm moving my head and not the eyeshadow brush. Annoying. I'm going to use is from the Wonder Woman collection, and it's a reflex glitter, which is again in the colour Pearl, and it's just really, really sparkly glitter. We're just going to apply that right to the eyelid. So just taking some of my brush and just apply right to the eyelid so we get a really strong glowy sparkle. It sort of looks like wet on her eye. Next for the eyes we're going to do the most dramatic part, and that is the eyeliner. You can just use any liquid liner that you want. I'm just using this one by Rimmel. The reason why I chose this one is it has a really, really thin point. That is because we want to get right in the inner corner and flick it out. She has a huge flick on the outer corner, so we want to make sure we get that as close as possible. Then we'll have something that looks a little bit like this. The wing does go out really, really tailoring in really thin, which is why I chose this eyeliner, as it has a really thin brush. The line almost wants to meet the dark shadow that we've placed on top, but not quite. So you want to just stop just before. You want to thin it out really, really nice and long. Next for the eyelashes, she doesn't appear to have any mascara on the bottom lashes, so we'll just keep with that line of eyeshadow that we've placed there, and we'll take our regular mascara. So just apply your regular mascara, but apply it super thick along the top lash line. So if you want to go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you back here. So the eyelashes, from what I could tell, are a super big deal in this film. Everyone had absolutely amazing eyelashes. It was all I could do not to just stare at the eyelashes the whole time. So for this look, what we're going to do is get doubly lashed. By that I mean taking a regular pair of eyelashes, such as these ones, which are from Eylure. Of course, you can just apply these on their own. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these pair and I'm going to apply them with another pair. The way I'm going to join them is I'm going to choose two opposite ones. So you can see on this outer corner is longer than this shorter corner where my finger is, and the same on the other side, which means when they put them together, they're going to even out and they're going to look something like this. They're not going to be tapered at any corner. From what I could tell from her eyelashes, they were full all the way along right until the inner corner, so I don't want anything that's too tapered and too flowing on the outer corner. If you want to apply your eyelashes on, I'll meet you back here. So once we've got those suckers on, they look something like this. Of course, one goes on super easy and one totally hates me. One thing that I never realised about eyelashes, I always seen people putting eyelashes on with tweezers, and I thought, why are they doing that with tweezers? Surely that's more difficult. And then I started doing it myself, and it's actually so much easier. And the reason for it, no one ever just says what the reason is. The reason is so that the glue doesn't stick to your fingers. If you put it on with tweezers, it just goes straight on. I think that it would be obvious, but it wasn't to me. Well, to me anyway, it definitely was not obvious. So I was really pleased when I finally figured that out. So that is it for the face and for the eyes. So next up, we just need to do the lip. All I have is one lipstick in the brown colour, and that is a satin, and that's in Peach Shock. So that's a nice peachy colour, which happens to just perfectly match in with her lipstick anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply that. The lips were totally peach. There was no lip showing, so you want to make sure. Next we will just take a clear lip gloss because her lips were really super shiny. So here we have it for my first ever inspired look, and hopefully you can see that it is Babydoll off the film Sucker Punch. But thanks so much for watching and subscribing and following me on Twitter, and I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye bye.